The King and the Juju Tree. King Udam was a famous king who lived at Etam, which is an inland town and does not possess a river. The king and his wife therefore used to wash at the spring just behind their house. King Udam had a daughter, of whom he was very fond, and looked after her most carefully, and she grew up into a beautiful woman. For some time, the king had been absent from his house, and had not been to the spring for 2 years. When he went to his old place to wash, he found that the Edom Juju tree had grown up all round the place, and it was impossible for him to use the spring as he had done formerly. He therefore called his most strongest men to bring their machetes, knives, and cut down the tree. They started cutting the tree, but it had no effect, as directly they made a cut in the tree, it closed up again. So after walking all day, they found they had made no impression on it. When they returned at night, they told the king that they had been unable to destroy the tree. He was very angry when he heard this, and went to the spring the following morning, taking his own machete with him. When the Juju tree saw that the king had calmed himself and was starting to try to cut his branches, it caused a small splinter of wood to go into the king's eyes. This gave the king great pain, so he threw down his machete and went back to his house. The pain, however, got worse, and he could not eat or sleep for 3 days. He therefore sent his witch men and told them to cast lots to find out why he was in such pain. When they had cast lots, they decided that the reason was that the Juju tree was angry with the king because he wanted to wash at the spring and had tried to destroy the tree. They then told the king that he must take 7 baskets of flies, a white goat, a white chicken, and a piece of white cloth, and make a sacrifice of them in order to satisfy the Juju. The king did this, and the witch men tried their lotions on the king's eyes, but it got worse and worse. He then dismissed these wishes and got another lot. When they arrived, they told the king that although they could do nothing themselves to relieve his pain, they knew one man who lived in the spirit land who could cure him. So the king told them to send for him at once, and he arrived the next day. Then the spirit man said, "Before I do anything to your eye, what will you give me?" So King Udam said, "I will give you half my town with people in it, also 7 cows and some money." But the spirit man refused to accept the king's offer. As the king was in such pain, he said, "Name your own price and I will pay you." So the spirit man said the only thing he was willing to accept as payment was the king's daughter. At this the king cried very much and told the man to go away, as he would rather die than let him have his daughter. That night the pain was worse than ever, and some of his subjects pleaded with the king to send for the spirit man again and give him his daughter, and told him that when he got well, he could no doubt have another daughter, but that if he died now, he would lose everything. The king then sent for the spirit man again, who came very quickly, and in great grief, the king handed his daughter to the spirit man.